Welcome back, you guys, to today's live. What we want you guys to do as you guys start trickling in and watching, we want you to share this. Share this live. This one's called Doing Life Together. And then, so for all you people that are dating, looking for someone to date, engaged or married, we want you guys to, there's some tips that we're going to be giving so those of you that are looking and dating, you guys can prepare yourselves now. It's good that you guys prepare yourselves now and not wait until after marriage when you guys got to learn stuff on the fly. And this is something you gotta prepare yourself, not just for the day of marriage, but for the actual marriage, the whole lifetime you guys are going to be spending with each other. And then, so share this. Share this to whoever you think this could be useful for. And also, we want to spread the word of our lives that we're doing every day. Amen. So with that, we'll go right into it. Amen. So, we're going to be sharing some tips. So, yeah.
So we spoke to a few pastors, wives, and ministers in our ministry and leadership, and we just asked them, give us a few tips. If you could just give us one thing to run with, what would it be? And some simple but so profound, because just some of these things can take you a long way if we apply them, And we want to do life together. It's not just about building our own house, our own home. That's important first and foremost, but also like building in life, doing everything that we do, it's together. And we see that within our ministry, see beautiful examples of that. One of them was Sister Georgina. She said, dream together. So what does it mean to dream together? Like, what do you think that means?
I think having vision for each other, for your personal life, what you see for one another or with each other. I think dreaming is awesome. I think God has given some people gifts of dreams, right?
Yeah.
And so it's something that to look forward to, in your future. When you dream about being someone, one day being a minister, you have that to look forward to. One day I'm going to be a minister, a licensed minister. I'm going to, take a city, whatever your dreams may be. I think it's awesome thing.
Yeah. In your life, you have to have a theme in marriage. And to go with our life, we ask them, what are some goals that you have personally, and then as a wife, as a husband, and as a couple, as a marriage. So it's good to have those goals, because then it's something that you're going to go after. Not just dream, I dream of having this Zenart house and all these cars. We're talking about a vision. Yeah. And Sister Georgina, when she said dream together, it's not just him dream and I let him dream and I'm not saying you go ahead. It's not just me dream, it's dream together. So whatever his dream is, I want to dream it with him. I want to believe for it with him, And I love the scripture and the word of God in the very beginning, right? In Genesis, where it says, on the sixth day, God said it is good when he created, right? And when he created mankind, he said, it is very good. So here it is, a perfect world, right? We all say we could live in a perfect world. Well, it once was before, and it wasn't too far into, because then he said, but wait, it is not good for man to be alone. So everything was perfect except for the fact that he created man. And he said, wait a minute, I got something that's going to make your world even more perfect. I'm going to create him a helpmate, right? So it's doing things together, because God had a purpose for man. And so God has a vision, right? God had a vision and God had a dream, so to say. And he said, he's not going to do it alone. So when she's saying dream together, I'm thinking that's what she's talking about. It's like you're dreaming together. You're whatever your dreams are, I want mine to complement that.
Yeah, and I was taught that her dreams could be my goal.
That was your vow. Pastor,
So
Pastor, that was a good one. What was it? Say again.
her dreams are my goal.
Are my goal.
So like one of her dreams, I'm gonna tell you a couple.
Yeah. They're good dreams.
So one of her dreams was to hold a chimpanzee, right? So and
a
monkey. And so I took her to Bali for our anniversary, and she was able to hold one and take a picture, and she called him Johnny.
Yeah.
And so it's like, just whatever your spouse's dream is, your dream should align with it, but also their dream should be your goal. Do your part to make that happen as well. Whatever it is, but it's doing it together. Living life together.
The next one is believe together.
Yeah,
that's powerful. Is when there's unity and you have two hearts that are left believing for something, then it's powerful, because it's not just one, it's both of you believing. And sometimes it's gonna, whatever situation you're believing for, sometimes you're believing for something small, and then there's times where you're believing for something like, man, God, this is gonna take a miracle. Like, it's nothing short of a miracle. Well, when you both believe together, it makes room for miracles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We have to believe, right? Especially if we're dreaming big, which I encourage you to dream big, have big vision, and for your marriage, for your families, for your churches, like whatever you're a part of, dream big, have a big vision, expand your mind, expand your heart for it. And when you do dream big like that, you need to believe, right?
Yeah.
You need to believe God, because that's
like for action.
Yeah. So you believe that you too could do it with God in it. If it's in alignment with the calling of God that's upon your life, then you're able to see these dreams become reality, come to pass, your promises come to pass, your vision to be fulfilled and to become reality, to actually happen. You're actually able to step into that.
So maybe it's like some of you right now, maybe you're the only believer. Maybe your spouse is not a believer yet. And you're believing for, first of all, there's salvation. We're believing for salvation on Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. If you're a wife and you're a mom, get in there. If you're a mom, get your unsaved child there, because you never know. But when you believe, when you believe, God can move. And you guys, you may feel like you're believing for something right now. It's okay. That's okay. Keep praying. Don't give up. And then watch. Believe God for it to be where the day you guys can believe together. And if you are believing for something, go ahead and put it in the chat. We're going to turn that into a prayer request and a declaration. So if you're believing for your son's salvation, you say that. Say, I'm believing for so-and-so salvation. I'm believing for my spouse's salvation. Or you can, whatever it is that you believe for. You may believe for a situation, a circumstance. God is bigger than any circumstance. And there's been times where we had to believe Him for some heavy things.
Yeah.
And God's faithful. He's so faithful. Yeah. So believe together.
So dream together, believe together, and also stick together. Mm-hmm. Because this whole dreaming and believing, sometimes your vision gets a little blurry. Sometimes things take place, right? And you're really believing, but sometimes there's situations that happen, and you need to stay united. You need to stay together. You and your spouse and the Lord, man. So sticking together.
when I think of sticking, it's like you're stuck. That means like we're like
Inseparable.
yeah, inseparable. So you're stuck. Like I don't know if you ever use super glue, but super glue and put stuck it to something, and then it's like stuck. And if you try to remove it, it rips the piece of the other material or whatever, right? That's perfect now. Right? It rips another piece because they're stuck. Yeah. So that's the kind of stick that you need with your spouse. Like no matter what, ain't nothing gonna tear you apart. And if something tries to pull away, it's gonna hurt the other one. So you're stuck together. You stick together like glue, super glue. And that means when times are hard, because tough times are gonna come. Even more so is when you gotta stick together. And it's not just saying that and saying, oh, there's things that need to happen when you're saying you're sticking together. So in the hard times when you guys don't want to talk about it, guess what? You guys talk about it. Communication. You can't lose that communication in the tough times. It's easy, especially if they're the one giving you the hard time. You want to just kind of like separate from each other. No, it's stick together through it all, through thick and thin.
Which speaks to this one, make sure you connect at least once a day.
At least once a day. Okay, I know how hard it is because we're busy people, right? But that's not an excuse no more. Like, you have to make the time at least once a day. There's 24 hours in a day, right? 24 hours in a day. You gotta make time, whether it's an hour or just some time. And it's
even if you guys are both driving throughout it's just a quick 10-15 minute conversation. At least you're connected, finding those pockets throughout your day that you can call each other, or if you're with each other at those certain times. I know our pastor really taught us like your car rides should be rides of conversation, right? So like even with your disciples, the people that you're working with, and those car rides should be great conversations, about ministry.
Work hungry Martinez is like work fight. Someone starts talking, it gets crazy. So eat and then have your car conversation. Car conversations are cool. Car conversations are cool. But what was she also said intimacy. So intimacy, the connection, a level of connection of intimacy is not just, that's good, those 10-15 minutes. But I think that sometimes at the end of the day, honestly, like a wife, and I know that my sisters can agree with this, sometimes all day you look forward probably just to that last hour of your day with your husband. Because we want to wait, right? When he comes home, we don't want to spill it on him. But at nighttime, put the phones away. Put the phones away, turn the TV off, and let it be that time where you're connecting, intimacy. And she said, into me you see. The time of connection where you allow them to see into you. Like, what's going on in here? Like, when's the last time you asked your wife, how are you doing? Or your husband, how are you doing? Not just, I need this, here's your list to do, can you get this? How was your day at work? But how are you doing? A level of connection that's very intimate. You don't get that with everyone else. You get that only with your spouse. And there in Proverbs 31, it says, the heart of her husband safely trusts her. Is he coming to you with things? Is he coming to ask you for advice? That's when you know your connection is going to a deeper level, and that he can trust you, right?
Also, the next one. Who said this one?
Oh, this is Sister Vicky and Pastor Paul Lloyd from Bio Manchester.
So it says, take 24 hours away together once every couple of months to be together. So I think it's important, like you separate yourselves with each other, and that way, you just kind of reconnect from your craziness, your day-to-day life, and it's just you time. It's time for you to If you haven't prayed together for a while, that's your time, to wake up in the morning or at night or whatever. You guys could pray with each other, have breakfast, and just a little getaway with one another. That's part of, you could be the intimacy and talking. And like you could do a lot of. I'm not saying do all this just in this 24-hour time. You gotta try to practice these things all the time. But this 24 hours getaway, it's an awesome thing, It's very healthy because you don't want your life to be just, work, business, Yeah.
To sit back and just take a moment.
Yeah, take a breather and just, stop everything else and just focus on yourselves and relax.
We really have to. We know how to run it hard, but I'm also learning how to run it smart. But then also taking your moment. I think that's just as important. Some people they don't, and then you're going, and then you start to like burn out. You need that moment to refresh, especially in your marriage. You cannot neglect that. So taking at least 24 hours away once every couple of months. So.
Because especially if you do like ministry, a lot of ministry where you're pouring into people constantly, you could run dry. You're not feeling yourself. So we work with couples. So if we're pouring into couples and we're not filling our relationship up, then everything that we're not gonna have nothing else to pour. There's not going to be substance, and we're not going to be able to help couples like God wants us to help couples. And so we have to, take those moments and fill our own cups, fill us up and we get rejuvenated and re-energized and continue
to
do what we're called to do.
Laugh together. We call them the two said laugh together. Learn how to laugh together. He's a funny guy. I know he's being serious, but he's actually funny. Always makes me laugh. I sometimes laugh at him, but and that was something that I remember since I think when we got together, which was over like 20 something years ago when we first got together. I would always make it a point to try to make him laugh at least once a day. I'm not like a comedian or nothing like that, but whether it be a comment, something, I wanted to make him laugh. Because you have fun together, right?
Yeah.
Do I make you laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it works. They're like, I'm not trying hard. It's pretty easy. But
just have fun. Yeah, that's the thing. Just have fun. Life should be fun. Marriage should be fun. It shouldn't be walking on eggshells and like all serious and like you're living life together. Your spouse should be your best friend, and you guys need to.
Yeah, you don't do all this stuff together. You might as well have fun.
Yeah, and that's what like God really intended. For us, it's our helpmate and like it's our spouse. So. Enjoy each other's company and laugh. Type down some laughing emojis down the chat.
The last one is be transparent in everything. Okay, I don't know. What do you think about that one? Is that hard for a man to be transparent to his wife, to be vulnerable? Because I sometimes think like, okay, as a woman, I'll just say this, right? We look at, like, because we're so, emotional, and we talk about all these things, and we want to get it out there. And I know that we're wired different from a man, but from a woman's standpoint, we're like, sometimes they could be like, well, why didn't you tell me anything? Sometimes we could feel like that. But I don't we've grown through that, though. But for like maybe those that question right now, like, they might be that it only goes so far. They stay at like a surface, like a shell, and it doesn't go deep because maybe they're not comfortable. I don't know. But for a man? Like, is that hard for a man? Because you guys think we need you to be macho, or do you guys
I think every man is different, because there is men that they, pour everything out to their wives and they're sure about everything. There's some men that there's just things that they don't even want to talk about. Not that they're ashamed to be transparent about it, but it's just something that they just deal with it a certain way. Like, we don't need to voice out everything to get it off of our chest.
Yes, we do.
So you guys did it. So, but every man is different. I mean, there's certain things. Some men are prideful, and they do feel like, no, I got to be the man. I got to be strong, and tough. And I'm getting hit here, but I can't show it, So, like, they don't really like to wear their emotions on their sleeves and expose that. Yeah, that's different.
Well, so in talking about transparency, I think there's that, in the talking to each other, like being vulnerable, but there's also transparent with what you do and things that you do. Like, don't give the enemy a foothold in your relationship. So I know our pastor talks about this, like, he and he should have access to everything. Everything. There's not, this is mine, this is yours. It's not like that. Money, phones, everything, messages, I'm transparent. And then if I do talk to somebody, like, I'll let him know about it. I'll even, like, get him included in it, So, like, there's nothing being hidden. There's nothing that they can't see. They can see right through it. And there's no room for the enemy when there's transparency. Like,
that's what transparency is, right? It's clear, see, like windows without tint, you can see right through windows, right? So that's what it's clear. Everything's clear, and so, like, she knows my passwords to everything, like, there's nothing hidden, that's how it should be. And it's not to, like, I know some spouses, they get real offended, right? And they're like, no, I have my passwords, or like, why do you want to see my phone? Or, like, it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't be like that.
And if it is, you might want to evaluate and say, is there trust issues there? Yeah. Is there a reason? Because let's be honest, there's a reason why there's trust issues sometimes. So when you're rebuilding trust, which is another topic we're going to talk about sometimes too, when you're rebuilding trust, it's not just like, okay, they're going to trust you all of a sudden. So that's why there's patience with them. It start off with, like, I don't know, if you were the one in the wrong and there's a reason why your spouse doesn't trust you, but you're rebuilding, especially, you don't want to be like, you don't need my password, right? But just start off by being, like, completely open with each other and those things. Every little thing matters. Yeah. Okay. So we transparent everything. Okay. So that was the last one for Pastor Paul, Sister Vicky, Sister Georgina. Those were some tips from them, and we're just talking about doing life together, because that's what it's about. Just doing life together in every aspect. And we do life together. We do business together. We do ministry together. We raise these children together. We do it all together, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm not one of those independent women. Like, I don't need to know. Where is my oil stick? I'm like, I've been with him practically all my life, so it's probably part of it too. Not like I can't live without him. I can't live without him, but you know what I mean. It's me and you, baby, forever together. Forever to this life.
So the thing is, we don't want you guys to just survive. Your marriages to survive. We really want you guys to thrive and, have fun, live life. While we're here, serve God, do, the best you can in serving God and reaching people and being a light in your communities and, serving God with your wife, with your family, and doing life together, man. It's an awesome thing, especially if you got God in the center of it all. We've been traveling, like I never thought I would be able to travel. Like I thought my travel, my passport stamps would be from different prisons, from prison to prison to prison. That's what I thought my destiny was, growing up. And we used to talk about it, when we were in juvenile homes and stuff. We'll be talking about when we're older, we're ODs, we'll be in this prison. I had a place.
I didn't want to go to prison.
We had my own place when we were locked up.
I go to prison now to reach into this.
So we would talk like that, like some of our guys, would be like, I'm gonna die in Pelican Bay, and that was like that was our dreams as young gang members, growing up. We're gonna graduate, from juvenile hall to CYAs and prison, and for God's mercy and God's grace, on my life, and so now we're able to travel to Europe to do crusades, and different parts of the world, and be able to go on vacations and give our children better life, and that's what it's all about, you guys, is serving God, living life together, answering the call of God. And so I pray that you guys are blessed with today's live. Stay tuned, stay connected. We do have our Mother's Day service
on
Sunday, so at 10 a.m. So
bring your everybody, bring them.
Yeah, so come join us. So we're expecting you guys. Bring your parent, bring your mother, bring your grandmother. Bring your families. We want to see you guys there. And so we thank you guys. And also, if you guys want to be a part of what we're doing, there's a few ways you could give. You could go online. You could go. You could give through PayPal, and also text to give. The numbers right there on your screen. And so, be a part of what we're doing as Victory Average One. We're doing great things. We're reaching families, and we're trying to expand. Expand our church, expand. Throughout the islands. We just started zones. So if you're not a part of a zone, we got different zones all over the island. So you could get part of one of these COA discipleships. So got them in Eva, Mililani, Waipio, Kapolei, Pearl City. We got a lot of them. So if you need more information, let us know. Come check us out tomorrow. We got our Friday night fire prayer service. Amen. So we thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Aloha.